Everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. As we approach the Olympia weekend, who do we have to get? We had to get your two-time Olympia Classic Physique champion, your first Arnold Classic Physique champion, none other than the Black Swan, Breon Ansley. What's up, Breon?
What's up, Ron? Man, always good to talk to you, and always a great introduction. You always hype me up with the introductions and with the little decorations. So always good to be here and talk to you, man, and get it all into the nitty and the gritty.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start with the one thing I wanted to know. At the beginning of this year, you had said this is probably going to be almost certainly your last year in Classic Physique, and you're going to move on to 212 division after that. Here we are at almost the end of 2022, I believe is the year we're in now. Is that still the plan, or have things changed?
Yeah, that's still the plan. And as long as they keep the weight claps the same, then that is the plan. I definitely need to, after this year, finish strong with the weight caps that I've been limited to for the last, 4 years. Yeah. And I can't stay in the same, I can't stay within these same parameters and limitations for another year. So as long as they keep the weight caps the same, I will be moving on to different pastures, greener pastures, I guess, if you want to say. Either way.
Yeah. 180 pounds is what you've had to get down to for the last, 4 years. Well, it was even lower before that, right?
Yeah, it's 170. I don't know how I don't know how I'm not at 185, but we've been given 10 pounds.
Right.
And it was 170. It was 175. Okay. It was my lowest that I had to be at, Ron.
Yeah. And
somehow, some way, I've only been allotted 5. So as the heights have kind of, they were figuring out the heights in the beginning, and I guess sometimes one year this height is this, the next year, the next show, this height is this, and then you kind of stay there. So I don't know. It's mystery.
Yeah, because when I was talking to Terrence Ruffin, I don't know, this was like 8 weeks ago, he mentioned that you have to get to the same weight he does, but the height, you're at the very high end of that height range, and he's at the lower end. So did you like shrink like 1/8 of an inch or something? Did you knock yourself out of a weight class?
I guess when you get, maybe because I have to dehydrate and suck it down so much, Ron. I shrink. You shrink when you suck it down so much and you dehydrate so much. So maybe because of that, I have to come down so low, and then I fit right into that. And I'm taller than Terrence. You know what I mean? So we're at the same weight cap. So right. I don't know. See, I don't know. I don't know how it is. It's a mystery. And but hey, nevertheless, we've been able to hold our own for these years, and we intend to even bring something different and a different look to the stage this year, because as I mentioned to you before, it's not about getting to the weight cap, it's how we get there this year. So
yeah, I remember we talked months ago, and the plan was you were going to get to your target weight, I think, like way before the show, and then sort of hold it, and then be able to. You had a whole game plan. I'm sure I'm screwing it up the way I'm attempting to repeat it, but what is it? Are you still sticking to whatever that plan was? Can you sort of recap that for me?
Absolutely. It's just get to the weight cap early. I had a number in mind, which was like, I was being really lofty and really aggressive. It was like 4 or 5 weeks ahead of time being at the weight cap. But then, as time went, we talked it over with the coaches and the good counsel. And it was like, well, we don't want to get there. We don't want to be there and hold that too early, because then we'll really be susceptible to losing muscle. Right. The longer you're there and the longer you're that low. So we want to do it, a week and a half to 2 weeks out, which we have attained. We're there now.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're doing this interview, full disclosure, because it's not going to air today. We're doing this on the Tuesday. What is this? The 6th of December. So we're about 10 days out from judging, I think, today.
Yeah.
You would know.
Yeah. It's 17th.
Wow.
Judging and prejudging is on the 17th.
That's right. Yeah. So I just want to take a minute to remind everyone, how you've done at the Olympia over the years, because it's been very, very consistent. So the first Mr. Classic Physique Olympia, let me just say Mr. Olympia. Now, the first Classic Physique Olympia was 2016. That was 4th place. 2017, you were the world champion. You were the Olympia champion. 2018, you were the Olympia champion. 2019, you dropped down just to once, runner up to, that was the first year Bump said won, right? And then the last 2 years, you've still been top 3. You've been 3rd place. So it's not like, people keep talking, names popping up. They're talking about Urs and Ramon and these guys, but they seem to forget, you've been no lower than 3rd since you've been Olympia champion. It's not like you dropped, you fell down one spot at the Arnold. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you were just super flat at the Arnold, weren't you?
Yeah. And I wasn't feeling good. That was my worst performance as a pro. I had acid reflux, no excuses, but I just wasn't able to keep it together that show. That was a bad showing. So we definitely want to redeem ourselves big time from that showing.
Yeah. I mean, this is your last Olympia in Classic Physique. So I'm sure you're pulling out all the stops. This is the one you want to finally bring, because we've spoken many times. You've said you've never felt you looked exactly the way you want. You've never shown your 100% potential on the Olympia stage over these past few years. And this is the year, I'm sure this is the year you want to do that.
1000%, 1000%. And, and what better way to have it be the last Classic year, right? To have to achieve my best look. And I have no doubts that once I do that, then I'll be a tough one to beat up there, man, and against anybody. So, we just want to finish off with an absolute bang and look our very best. And like I said, in doing that, it's just now we've figured out how we have to get to the weight cap and how we have to sustain this thing, as opposed to just getting there, scrambling to get there.
Yeah. So let's say you get your title back, you win the Olympia again. Would you really walk away from Classic if that happens?
Yeah, I really would, because I still would, because the challenge wouldn't be there anymore, still, with having to come back to the same weight cap. Okay. That there wouldn't be a challenge there, and it'd be still time to go on to a different challenge and try to get one in the 212 class.
Yeah. So I hate to jump ahead to like next year and all that, because we're trying to talk about the Olympia that's coming right up. Get the pay-per-view, everybody. I'm supposed to hype that up because we want
absolutely
MrOlympia.com. MrOlympia.com. If you can't get to Vegas, be there watching on pay-per-view. You can sync it up to your giant 70, 80, 90-inch TV screen and watch it with your buddies.
The big ones.
But this Olympia is historic. It's got the biggest numbers, but your class in particular, the last time I looked, every time I refresh the screen on that Olympia qualified, Classic goes up. It's like, it's almost like it was 65 guys. I think there might be a couple more since then. So
Jesus.
Any thoughts on that? Should there have been some, I talked about this with Logan, should there have been some sort of cap, like only tier 1 show wins qualify, or how would you do it? Because it seems like that's a lot of guys for the judges to have to go through.
That's way too many. And the thing about it is that a lot of, quite frankly, a lot of guys that are going to be looking absolutely spectacular are going to get overlooked.
Yeah.
You can't do it. I don't believe, all credit to the judges and all that. And they're great at what they do.
Yeah.
But you can't, with such a long show, you cannot give a fair shot at that many competitors with all the divisions going on, in each class. It's just too many, and it takes away from the eliteness of the show and of the division. It waters it down a little bit, I believe.
Yeah. And
they have to do something. They have to maybe just do tier 1 shows, like you said. Maybe they have to do a pre-qualifier, like earlier in the week to make the main event, for the weekend.
Right.
But something, because it's just too many. And with all that hard work, a lot of guys are going to get overlooked. Yeah. And also, we're talking about the guys that are going to be in the top, that they're going to have the looks, right?
Yeah.
The top 10 or so. You know, it'll be hard for us to sustain the looks that we want to present as our best, because we have to wait so long for everybody to go, you know, continuing to warm up, continuing to stay warm, continuing to stay vibrant in there, you know, as everybody goes. You know, you just run the risk of guys getting flat a little bit and guys getting cold and guys getting, you know, losing a little luster. So, you know, you have a few factors. I think it's a lot more negatives than positives for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to come up with solutions. I know we're not going to solve it right here, right now, but maybe that's something for them to think about moving forward, because if you have 65 guys, I think that's what it was the last time I looked. If you have 6 guys on stage in a call out, I don't think you can typically have more than that, but that's someone's going to be 10th call out. You know what I mean? That'd be, it's not going to be you, but still some poor, there's going to be a group of guys and they're going to look great. I don't think any, you know, classic, anybody who's qualified for the Olympia, especially they want to show, they're going to be in great shape. They're going to be looking phenomenal. And it's going to be kind of a bummer to see those guys get, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th call out. Well, maybe not 7, because it's such a big show. But let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I heard from I got good feedback from Tarek that it is, you know, he does agree that the numbers are too high, and there will be some adjustments made, you know, for next year or for the future, because he is in agreement. He is in agreement that it's just the numbers are too high, and it doesn't lend for a great elite top, you know, best of the best in the world Olympia.
True. So I'm going to jump ahead to another thing. I'm all over the damn place. Next August is going to be the first Masters Olympia in many years, and the first time that it's featured all divisions. We used to have Masters Olympia was just bodybuilding. You know, Vince Taylor won every year for like 20 years. But no, I think he got 5. But still, I'm looking at the age caps on that, and you have to be 45 for open bodybuilding, 212 in women's bodybuilding. Everything else is 40. I see you had a birthday last month. You're definitely you're over 40 now. You're 43. Is that correct?
Something like that, Ron. Something like that.
Well, when I say, I mean, before we started recording, full disclosure, everybody, I was so envious of Breon's hair, because, you know, I got all the thinning and everything. You got a beautiful head of hair. I don't see any wrinkles. I don't know. You're doing great, man. You're doing great.
Thank you, brother. There is you know, you get up on me close. There is a wrinkle or two there, but you know, we're keeping it together. And we don't let prep bog us down too much. Still staying, you know, still keeping the skin hydrated and still doing facial care and all that. You know, keeping it together over here, man.
So I was looking at thinking, 40 years old, you have to be 40 for Classic Physique Olympia. Classic is a very new class. You know, wellness is even newer. Good luck with that one, having masters. But
I know
there's not that many guys over 40 that are top tier Classic Physique pros. I mean, other than you and the first champ, Danny Hester, who hasn't competed in a few years, and I suspect Danny will come back for that Masters Olympia. I'm thinking this could be Breon's. I don't know if Breon would come back for one more classic show if there was another Olympia title attached to it. Have you thought about it?
Yeah, I have thought about it, and that could be a possibility, because I know that, you know, like you said, I'm definitely the best looking over 40 classic guy out there. You know, I don't think can't think of anybody else other than Danny, who hasn't competed in a while. So I think I have the upper hand on him right now, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be a sure win for me. Absolutely. And that would be fun. So you know, traveling out there to Romania, I think I have thought about it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Have you ever been to the Romania shows that Tim Gardner and Jake Wood put together in that team?
Nope, haven't been to one.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen the pay-per-views, but man, they put that Romania Muscle Fest thing. The staging on that is almost as good as the Olympia. It looks like the production value. So I can imagine Masters Olympia, they're going to go even they're going to go all out to another level for that. So
Yeah.
I think they're going to get some nice prize money. I think it's going to be a great show. So yeah, I think it's Danny will get his rematch against you. Well, you'll get your rematch against well, you beat him subsequent years. He beat you only that first year.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely appetizing to think about and to consider, you know, to for all of the details that are provided with that show. And so we'll see. We'll first things first, we'll take care of this one, and then start thinking about that. Start thinking about what's to come, man, and for next year.
Okay. You also mentioned that you've been out to the Middle East 3 times this year.
Yes.
Which countries have you been to, and what kind of reception? It seems like they treat bodybuilders more like actual celebrities and professional athletes over there than we get over here. Would you agree to that?
Oh yes, sir. 1,000%, Ron. 1,000% night and day difference. And I don't understand. I don't know what. I think it's a cultural thing. You know, they really. It's just a cultural thing. They really celebrate the people that they love. They really celebrate, even if it's just their own family and friends. You know, they'll like get on their knees and bow down to their own family and friends, just as the culture and as they are grown up to do, you know, and raised to do. Yeah. So I think it's just that type of love and that type of respect and that type of honor that they carry with them. And they definitely have that for us bodybuilders, and it is truly something remarkable and something heartfelt. The reception, you know, because they act the same way. They bow down and praise us athletes, and it is really it's really something special, like I said, and it really feels great, to the point to where I would be like, wow, you know, it wouldn't be such a bad move to move out to the Middle East for so many reasons. Business, you know, it's booming out there. And I mean, you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea at all. You'd be taken care of 1,000%. And like and then how we see some of us athletes have moved out there to Dubai.
Yeah. I mean, Larry Wheels, does he live there? Because he's always making videos. I don't know if he lives there.
I think he has. Yeah, I think he lives there now. I know Andre Du was living there for a long time, or back and forth all the time. And then you know, we got Sergio, who moved out there. Hele moved out there, and I might be missing some too. Oh, and then I even know some bikini girls that have moved out there. Yeah.
So which countries have you been to this year? And is Dubai, out of the ones that you've been to, the one that you would probably move to if you ever moved there?
Yeah, because that's a lot. Dubai is a little bit more
Western.
How can you say? Yeah, it's a little bit more laxed with parameters.
Yeah.
Right. So that would probably be the one that I would consider. But I've been to Bahrain starting in January. I was in Bahrain, which is very beautiful. Then in April, I went to Kuwait. I'm sorry, not Kuwait. I went to Iraq. I was in Iraq. Yeah, on behalf of Yaba Labs, because that's what Yaba Labs is heavily based in Iraq. So I was out there in Iraq. And then for the Dubai Muscle Show, you know, in Dubai, just this past, that was 7 weeks ago.
Yep. Wow. So let's see. You prepped for the Olympia in Kuwait 2 years ago, right?
Yes, 2018. So 4 years ago now.
Oh, wow. Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was 2018, my last win.
Oh, that's right. Because I remember now the picture of you and Brandon. There was a few good pictures of you guys together. But,
yeah.
Well, maybe you need to go back to Kuwait. I'm just kidding. But
I mean, I wouldn't. Hey, if Bader will invite me, I'll be on the first plane smoking to get out there and prep there. It was an amazing experience, and of course, you see the accommodations are state of the art with the gym, and since then he's built I don't know 2 or 3 more gyms, O2 gyms.
Wow.
And yeah, so I mean, you know, Bader will invite me. I'll take Me and Chris will be out there on the first thing smoking to do another prep out there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind it at all.
Yeah, see, I was going to ask because usually when people prep for shows, they like to be in their home environment, my house, my kitchen, my gym, my this and that. You were in a totally foreign environment in every way for that show, but it seemed like you won the Olympia that year, so clearly it agreed with you. Do you prefer prepping at home? Was it as good or better over in Kuwait that time?
It was as good or better because you just put in the at home, you can get distracted with certain things sometimes, at your place of residence. Yeah. Especially if you have, and I don't, luckily, but the ones that do, a lot of us do have kids and families and people that that are looking after us and really depending on us. You could get caught up in that and responsibilities and all that type of stuff. So I didn't, and that's why Brandon and then they go out there because they, that kind of eliminates that and they can get kind of focus.
Yeah.
But the accommodations and the focus to go off somewhere else can be a lot more intensified because of that reason, taking the responsibilities of just life, life happenings out of there, and just focusing on bodybuilding, eating, sleeping, training, posing, and doing it all over again. And of course, like I said, the accommodations that they provide for the athletes are just spectacular. The gym is right there by where we stay. We have to walk maybe 10 to 15 steps and we're at the gym from where we sleep. Yeah. The meals are delivered right there to the door on a day-to-day basis. Mm. The gym is state of the art. They even have, everything, just everything.
Right. Yeah, I still think I see your trifecta. Is it trifecta that you do the commercials for?
Yeah, trifecta still running strong.
They still pop up on like YouTube videos randomly when I click on a video.
Yeah,
I love that commercial. But
yeah.
So you've been with the same team now for a few years. It's Brandon Gertis doing your diet, and the real deal, Chris Cormier. You can't ask for much better mentor than that, handling the training, the posing.
Absolutely.
Now that you guys have been working together so long, do you feel like you really have it down to a science where you all three of you working together have a synergy where you know exactly what needs to be done at what step of the way?
Absolutely, especially now when we're talking about the last couple of weeks leading into the show, how my body responds to this and that, what we're looking like as far as details are concerned, and what we need to do to what we need to do to make sure we make weight, what we need to do to make sure we can fill out, but at the same time stay tight and keep the waist tight and be able to pose correctly and to be able to pose strong. Yeah, we definitely have a great synergy now, and some just some more years of experience under our belt. Yeah. To make things, to really crystallize things a lot more now.
Yeah, I forgot to ask before, but how much time do you have this year at the Olympia between weighing in and judging?
Oh man, that's another thing. This year they're giving us even more time, Ron.
What, like a week?
I wish. We sure wish. We sure wish. But it's an extra, like, what would that be? It's an extra. We weigh in the night before instead of the morning, Thursday morning. So we weigh in Wednesday night at 8 p.m. instead of it's usually been Thursday morning at like 9 or 10 a.m. Yeah. So now we're getting 12, 13, 14 hours or so.
Extra. Wow. So you could squeeze in like 7 more meals.
Absolutely. Absolutely we can. Absolutely we can. So that's going to be fun. And I know we're all excited about that to start reviving ourselves earlier, Well, I mean, because I know a lot of us have the same, we all have the same struggles, and we all have the same elements of just making this weight cap, man. I know Ramon is probably the same way, and I don't know. Chris probably has. I think he has room, but I know Ramon is the same as far as sucking it down and making weight. I don't know who else is out there that really has trouble with some pounds, but
I think most of the guys in Classic do, I believe. You all get to the weight, but I think most of the guys in Classic, and that's why the conditioning is so consistently superior in Classic to Open, is because most of you guys do struggle to get down to a weight that's not an easy weight. And by the time you get there, you're guaranteed to be shredded because, a lot of, if there was no weight cap in Classic, someone like you, not that you personally would do, but you wouldn't be 180 up there. You'd probably be like, if there was no cap, you'd be up there at like 200 pounds, decent shape, I'm sure, but not like shredded and dry and grainy. I'm not saying this would happen to you, but I know guys would do that. They would try to come in bigger and fuller, condition would suffer, which is why, most people agree there should be some kind of weight cap, or else, it's just going to be the Wild West out there. People are going to start getting bigger and fuller, and it's not going to be Classic anymore. The division would lose its entire identity, I believe, if they took the weight cap away.
Yeah. I definitely can see what you're saying by that. Yeah, if you don't give them any parameters, the guys they're not gonna do all the hard nose prepping to come down that hard to make sure you're that shredded and that sharp. So I agree with you on that. Yeah. I definitely agree.
So you've been coming down to this unnatural weight for you, 180, for a while now. Does it get any easier because you've done it before? Does it get harder? Is it just always a pain in the ass?
It gets harder because, if you continue to just lift, Ron, right, and continue to lift and continue to train from year to year to year, you're going to put on more fibers. Sure. Right? You're going to put on more fibers. You're going to gain more weight. You're going to gain more muscle and more mass. And we have to bring it down again to that same cap. So the thing about it is what the good part about that is that as we do that, we gain more refinement and gain more separation, and we gain more density, and so that's good. We gain a lot more maturity as well. So that's good, but then the pounds matter, right? And what the scale says. And so that's always going to be challenging from year to year to year, and that has been even more challenging from year to year to year because we haven't taken a year off to not gain any more muscle or to not gain any more fibers.
Yeah, but we've had this discussion a few times over the past few years where you say, you put on muscle, which you have, and I how do you come in bigger at the same weight? And you always say, well, just get more conditioned. And I keep arguing with you, saying, Breon, you're as conditioned as a human being can possibly get. That's a human with the skin peeled off is what you look like, basically. Spray painted brown. It's just, you don't have much more body fat to go. So I'm happy that you're moving on, just because I know your body's just been dying to grow. But, we got this one last hurrah, except for the Masters maybe next year. But we got this one last hurrah on the Open Classic Physique Olympia stage. And I want to see you put it together 100% the way that I know you've always envisioned in your head. And I know when you've seen the coverage of the shows, you're like, where we think you look perfect, but I know you're looking at it and going, this and that. And you're seeing things that could be a little, even if it's only like 1 or 2% better, that's still in your mind. I know it bugs you.
Absolutely. And then 1% or 2% better, I know will make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. And so gotta have it and gotta attain it this time around, man. Gotta do it. We'll do it.
No, I know. I believe in you, man. I want to see this because I root for the older guys. You're not as old as me. You're still in Classic Physique, where they're all like 13, 14 years old, these guys. They're just starting to shave and everything. It's hilarious.
I know. Yeah, Urs is literally, what is Urs, 23?
He's 24.
23. Ramon is not a year or two older than that.
24. I think Ramon's like 20, 28. Bumstead's 27. Who else we got?
Terrence is not 30. Terrence is not 30 yet, is he?
Nope. They're all in their 20s. They're all kids.
See there. And even you go off into like the other guys, Logan and Darwin and Who else?
There's 65 of them. I mean,
I know, Jesus, man, I
I
can't
think
keep up.
I think Wesley's only. Yeah, I mean,
Wesley,
I don't even know who to talk with. There's so many guys.
yeah, I
It's so
know,
stacked. I'm thinking
I
Urs,
know,
Ramon. This is like we're doing a preview, and I'm like, there's so many guys. Who do we talk about?
I
Aside
know,
from
I
like the top
know.
5 guys, it's like, oh, if I don't talk about this guy, he's gonna think I'm an a-hole.
Uh,
But yeah, like, just to throw out some names because I want to give these guys credit. Alex Cumbernaro's been up there for a long time. So props
oh
to
yeah,
Alex.
Alex for sure. Oh, Alex is around. Oh, okay. Well, there's one right there. Alex is around. I forget about Alex, and I didn't even think he was doing this Olympia this year.
I don't think is he 40? He can't be 40, is he? Maybe he is.
Yeah, Alex is.
Is he?
Alex
Okay.
is. He's around me.
Okay. So, and then Neil Curry from UK, Wesley, Vissers, Fabian Mayer, Courage, Para, Molnar, Mike Summerfield, Logan. Yeah, it's mostly younger guys, but so maybe Alex could be because we need some
Yeah,
more guys on that Masters Classic scale.
yeah. Alex is around me, so that's another one. Yeah, he's.
Okay.
I didn't even know Alex was doing. Alex has been quiet this year. I didn't even know he was doing the Olympia.
Well, I mean, I haven't heard him say he doesn't talk about the Olympia, but he's in shape right now. I see him posting all the time. He's definitely
Okay,
dieted down and ready to compete. So and he is
there we go.
qualified because he was top 5 last year, wasn't he? No,
Yeah.
was he that top
No,
5?
no, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He was just
I
I think
think
he
it
was
was 6 or 7.
6. Yeah.
6 or 7. Yeah.
He might not be in. No, I saw him on the list. He's on the list, so he did qualify
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay.
Man, I'm all over the place. scatter brain. Anyway, man, last thing I want to ask you about is your new sponsor, Yava Labs, because a lot of US consumers aren't familiar with Yava
Yeah.
Labs. How did you get to be part of that team?
Let's see. Well, how did I get to be a part of the team? Oh, well, I have a good friend. Who is from Bahrain by way of London, in Subi, who knows those guys and is really ingratiated with the Middle Eastern companies, with the Middle Eastern fan base, and with the Middle Eastern bodybuilding world. And they just we just meshed it together with me at the time needing a sponsor and being a free agent, and them wanting to barbecue with me.
And
Yava Labs.
yeah. And
So
they're introducing product line to the US soon or already?
yes, it is already now live, ready to go in the US. Just the whey protein is available, and we're excited about that. And we'll have at the beginning of the year, we'll have more things like the pre-workout and the BCAAs, and more products to drop. But right now, that the delicious whey protein is available, the 2-pound.
So I'm curious, do you think at this point, could you be more popular in the Middle East than you are here in the USA?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah, I would say yes. I mean, if I do when I think about if I do my like analytics on the Instagram,
Yeah. There you
I
go.
think you know what? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna say US has still my more of my popularity, and I have more engagement there.
Yeah.
But man, it is a close second. A close second, right there, running up against it, right there with like even Brazil and the Middle East and India, countries like that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to throw the USA under the bus, guys, my fellow Americans, but just trying to make it aware that this is a global sport. We have tremendous fan bases in places like the Middle East, in Brazil, and I did an interview with Rami, with Dennis James the other day, and we were talking about the difference between, like you said, the reception that our pro bodybuilders get here at home versus what they get overseas. Or like Rami goes home after winning the Olympia. There's 100,000 people at the airport to meet him. They named a square after him in Alexandria, Egypt. He's like a national hero. They have parades for him. He says Brandon Curry probably comes home and TSA is like, step over there. We're going to go through your bag or something.
I know. You all right, big guy. I see you, but let's go through the motions here. And that's how it is. And that's amazing. That type of response, and you get that type of praise out there in the Middle East. And it's just remarkable, and rightfully so, because we work extremely hard for to inspire the world out there with what we do.
Yeah, I mean, professional sports, I would argue that pro bodybuilders work as hard or harder than NBA, NFL, MLB, because there is no, we call it an off season, but it's not time off. It's you're working all year long. All year you're trying to do something. There's no break. So
absolutely. I think the discipline that you have to have with bodybuilding is far beyond any other sport.
yeah, I seriously doubt all these other athletes are eating every 2 hours every damn day. I doubt it. I really
No
doubt
way. No, they're not. No way. No way. No way.
For the damn win. I stole your catchphrase. So
all right. You can sponsor it.
yeah, so do you still have merch available? Where can people pick up the Black Swan merch?
Yes, on forthedamnwin.com still.
That's the number 4, right?
forthedamnwin.com. You can still pick up your ebooks and your merch there. And I will have new merch at the Olympia, guys. If you are physically there, I will have new merch at the meet and greet. Yep. And then I'll also have, whatever I have left, it'll go right there to the site.
Yep. That's the number 4, not FOR, right? The number 4.
Correct. The number 4. Yeah.
We'll put it in the description because
and I don't know really what that represents. It's just different because we're going for 3, not 4. We wish we were going for 4. We should be going for 4, Ron, but that's another story. That's for another day.
Plans change. We'll talk again in a couple of weeks and see where you're at. So, man, that's it, man. Thank you so much for taking the time, Breon, as we're very, very close to the show. It's getting down to the wire, down to the nitty and the gritty, as you say. Really looking forward to seeing you up on that classic Olympia stage one last time at your very best ever. That's going to be something. So, yeah. Guys, check out our coverage on musculardevelopment.com and on this YouTube channel all weekend. And of course, pick up the pay-per-view, MrOlympia.com. If you can't get to Vegas with all of us knuckleheads, you can sit there in the comfort of your own home and check it out. So, man, thank you, Breon. Appreciate it so much. And we'll be
thank you, Ron, very much.
Seeing you very soon. Thanks for watching Ronline Report with Breon Ansley, everybody.
Thank you guys so much. Love everybody. Love muscular development. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate the support.
All right. Thank you. And see you later. Bye-bye.
All right.
Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.